He's like, all right, listen up, Sarbazi, you will be on the northeast portion of this, and then hey, you'll be inside.
What's his name, Master Poe, by the way?
I don't know,
Like,
you know,
dude,
just
it's a shit truck.
It's a few days, you come off the real missions and the firefights every day, and you're like, this is cool. I'm just gonna sit back and watch the shit unload.
Right.
But this dude, like, I'm telling you, it was D-Day for this man, and he's like, if we make contact on the way, we're just gonna drop it right in the road. I'm like, dude, are you serious? I mean, this is like United States Army soldiers poop. It's really potent stuff. So, but yeah, we got up there, and here we are, like, download it.
Dump the shit on my paws. I take full responsibility.
It was the first time all year I told my gunner, like, dude, come sit down, relax. So, for once, to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So we just,
And then you're on the side of the road pretty much rolling your eyes as they're emptying the poop truck.
Well, I pulled a John Madden. I was sitting there hosting and, like, talking to the camera.
Yeah.
A lot of people got their first glimpse of that too, though, with this whole thing. You think everything that's going on there is this essential winning hearts and minds, killing insurgents. You don't realize it's escorting, trucks full of hot dogs and things like that that people are giving their lives for.
Office supplies.
Don't forget the poop.
Office supplies and poop. It's an eye opener, man. And how quickly you were able to see the change in attitude that you guys got from when you were back in the U.S. You got your orders to deploy, and then getting there, and then your mindsets and your attitudes starting to really change was interesting to watch. Were you all pretty gung-ho to go, or had you spoken to a lot of people that had gone already and already had pretty much a good idea what to expect?
Well, for me personally, I've served in the 101st for 4 years. So at that point, I had a lot of friends. One of my really good friends from the 101st had a Purple Heart. His Humvee blew up. He's back. He came to visit me after he returned. So I had no illusions. I've been through the process about 3 times. So I didn't go there thinking I'm going to come,
And you're the one that wasn't even an American citizen, right?
Yeah, I'm the foreigner, dude. I'm the affirmative action guy.
Where are you from?
Lebanon.
Okay. But at the end of this, maybe I should, whatever, we should save some for the people that see the film.
Surprises.
But there's a lot of surprises in the movie. But I was like, what?
Guy.
That was pretty cool. Were you the one that said you can't pick the war you're in?
Yeah, you can't. That was a buffet, you got to go where the Army sends you.
That was very interesting.
I mean, everyone would love the glory of the World War II kind of.
Yeah, trust me. And
ticker tape parade coming home and stuff. And
soldiers in this war sometimes have that feeling they come back, but it's not World War II. This is OIF. Big difference.
Yeah. What are your personal ideas on the war?
Well, I mean, I guess as a staff sergeant, it doesn't really matter that much. But I think we did. Apparently, we went under the premise of WMDs. There's not many WMDs there, I'm pretty sure. So
that's the bill of goods. Like everyone was kind of sold, and then I was. Hey, this is great. If this guy's got half of what they're showing me, let's go and kick his ass and everything. So, and then when you kind of don't find any, and then the direction and purpose changes, that was a little frustrating to say the least.
False advertising, I guess.
False advertising.
Yeah. What about you, Pink?
Well, I think in every war it's really important to have a directive before you go in and stick to that as your goal, So when we didn't find any weapons of mass destruction, you kind of had to say, okay, well, now what are we going to do? And I think that needs to be clearly defined a little bit more. We're not going to take an Arabic culture and instill democracy on them overnight. It's going to take a lot of work, and maybe it won't be an entire democracy. But I think Iraq is struggling within themselves a lot and is due for a civil war of their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was always under the impression that if the people want a civil war, they kind of got to do it themselves. It's one of those things like they're upset with their leader, they get enough people upset and enough balls, and then they go out and overthrow the government or die trying.
Nobody really bothered us too much. I mean, the French tried to a little bit, but...
Yeah. But it was pretty much a bunch of guys here saying, screw the king, and we're going to do what we want, and it wasn't somebody coming over saying, hey, that king's an asshole.
Yeah.
We're going to throw him out, and then we'll teach you how to run things. It's like, it kind of makes you think, what the hell is going on and what the end game is.
Yeah. A lot of fans of Dick Cheney, by the way, huh?
Yeah, I would love that guy.
Dick, he's great.
the Halliburton connection, and
I had no idea of the Halliburton connection, how deep it was, really, to be honest with you.
Well, everybody kind of thinks it's oil, just oil, but the subsidiaries are all about supplies, and they're making a lot of money over there.
I thought they're just patriotic.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
The friggin' what? $28 plates was.
Yeah, who was talking about the $28
That was
plates?
a bit much. Is that honestly? How do they? How do you go and legitimize a $28 styrofoam plate?
Well, basically when the Army eats, every plate is, they're charging the government $28, Halliburton, I guess, right? And if you take another plate to cover your food to keep it warm, that's another $28 they charge.
They charge the government.
The government.
Right.
I guess shipping.
Somebody's making a lot of money over there.
Yes, it's the shipping. And those trucks full of plates have to be escorted and made sure by...
Right. So if one of those gets blown up, what happens? I mean, is that a write-off? I mean...
Yeah.
It's $1 billion truck right there.
Yeah.
It's a good meal.
You know what?
The hell with the one with the fuel in it, the one with the plates. That's important.
Yeah.
The other thing that was really interesting, the trucks that belonged to Halliburton, I guess, were very, very protected. What were they called? KPRs or?
Yeah, the KBR trucks were usually a lot of times they'd be driven by American drivers,
right?
Guys from Texas and Louisiana.
And they got as much protection as possible, even though it's still ridiculously dangerous. But they got the 4-inch. Is it a 4-inch windshield?
Yeah, they're a little more, usually optimal condition. They sometimes had a shooter with them, usually some guy from finance.
They got cages around the front of it, the cab, and they got the 4-inch windshield. And then you had the Third World Nationals. Yeah, they were doing the same job. Oh. And they had no windshields, no protection. They're driving with the windows down, smoking a cigarette,
big smiles on their faces.
To be there.
I gotta tell you a funny story. One time, we were escorting a TCN truck.
Is that Third Country National?
Yeah, Third Country National.
Third
Somebody
Country.
threw a rock and it blew his windshield out. But we had to get in, so I gave the guy my goggles. So he's driving a 16-wheel truck with goggles.
Goggles as a windshield.
And a broken windshield. Just barreling down the street,
smiling, making a couple of bucks.
They're troopers, though, man. They'll rig anything.
Yeah, the interview.
There was a lot of American drivers early on when we first got there because they got paid a lot of money to go over and drive the wreck. Then they started dropping like flies, getting killed, and of course they all quit. And it was almost like Halliburton or KBR didn't think of this early on. They said, well, why don't we just get guys from other countries that we can pay a lot less? What were we even thinking, paying those Americans top dollar?
Oh, no.
And let's get these other guys.
And those guys are just happy to be there, saying, just making money, making a living.
Yeah.
There was a lot of comedy in the film. We should mention that.
Dark comedy. A lot of dark comedy, because the whole thing is, the setting is just horrific. Right from the first mortar attack that you guys are under is horrifying, and sitting there wondering, looking around at the tent you're in going, this gets hit. We're all done.
Yeah,
how do you sleep under those circumstances?
They were based at LSA Anaconda, which is in Balad, 45 miles northwest of Baghdad, and the nickname for the base is Mortaritaville because it gets hit.
Mortaritaville. It's just one of the most shelled camps.
We also talked about the kids earlier this morning. That was you, I think.
Yeah.
You were up in your nest or whatever with your machine gun, and the kids were going to school with their.
That was Specialist Moriarty.
Oh, Moriarty.
The scene I'm in was giving them high fives. And
You were talking to the locals.
All right, and they were calling you a traitor.
Yeah, they were calling you a traitor.
That was my buddy, Staff Sergeant.
You can tell he's like goofing on you.
That's right, because you know the language, obviously. But they showed the kids going to school just laughing and giggling. They have no clue what's going on. They have their book bags. Yeah, that, by the way, are awful. Someone has to give them better book bags. They're all square and cumbersome.
Well, they're leftovers. A lot of times, one of the schools we'd go give them supplies. So we'd email everybody back home, hey, send us some supplies, and it's nice. But every week, the same kid would come up to you, can I have another book bag? You're like, kid, how many freaking book bags?
Are they selling them?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or the schoolmaster will come after you.
It was really odd though to watch that kids going to school is something that it's kind of the same all over. They're playing with each other, they're kicking each other in the ass, and they're walking and they're in the crossfire. They're right there. If something broke out in front of them and you're behind them, they're kind of in the middle. And if you got to protect your ass, someone's going to get hurt.
Yeah, it can be hair-raising sometimes.
What would you say the ratio is of people who treat you well over there and are kind of grateful, as opposed to the people that resent you?
See, I get that question a lot, and you got to be careful when you ask that to soldiers. Sometimes they try to give general answers. If somebody's in the north in Kurdish country, the Kurds love us. The Shiites, they're getting a lot because of us, democracy and so on. Meaning they're going to get a lot of power. The Sunnis hate us because they're losing all the power.
They were the ones with Saddam, right?
Yeah, the Baathists, they were Sunnis.
Right.
So, if you're Sunni land in Fallujah, I don't think you're going to get someone that's going to be grateful for freedom. Right. But, I think the Shiites are fairly either passive or supportive, unless they're very
it obviously
religious.
depends where you are.
Yeah,
the
Kurds dig us, man. The Kurds are like, if you're in Kurdish country, they want you to come in, have a coffee, chai, all that good stuff.